Hey, what's up, everybody? Rod J back again. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. So this was a pop-up live stream yet once again, a little earlier than when I usually do it, but had some time and wanted to get into an unboxing compliments of Crabbie's and their ginger beers. So let me grab this over here. But this is a box I just received earlier today, and Crabbie's had reached out to me. Big thanks to Laura Badish of the Badish Group, working with the relaunch of Crabbie's ginger beer. Actually sent me an email a few days ago, as a matter of fact. It was on Wednesday, I think, or late Tuesday. She came across my site after being recommended from someone else, one of their other people there, and asked if I would like to take a look at some of the Crabbie stuff as they're relaunching the Crabbie's ginger beer line. I said, sure, send it on over. And yet, here it is, already Saturday, and it came earlier today. So a big shout out there. And if you're not familiar with Crabbie's ginger beer, I've had it in the past, but it's been a while since I've had it. It's got a nice little feel to it from what I remember. They're talking about on the letter here, it's Crabbie's alcoholic ginger beer. After being steeped for 6 weeks, creates a deliciously refreshing beverage using Asian ginger and exotic spices. Made with purely natural flavors, none of those artificial, hard to pronounce sweeteners. More importantly, real harvested Asian ginger roots. So this refreshing ginger flavor is the main ingredient in the secret recipe from 200 plus years ago that has been passed down from generation to generation. And it gives you a couple of things here on the letter they actually sent me that I'm actually reading at this point. They said, have you met Ginger? She's a majestic Asian elephant featured in Crabbie's products. Quite the explorer, but always stays true to her Asian ginger roots, symbolizing a refreshing flavor packed inside each bottle and can. In honor of her Asian roots and our elephant friend, the brand sponsors 3 elephants in the Millennium Elephant Foundation in Sri Lanka. Ramanika, Lakshmi, and Pooja. That's the name of the elephants there. So it talks about how it's actually made only with natural flavors that I mentioned, no artificial sweeteners. Real Asian ginger with a recipe from 200 years ago. Takes 6 weeks to actually mature. 2 weeks of fermentation before maturation. It says a flavor-forward cider and beer drinkers looking to get out of their comfort zone and enjoy the refreshing ginger spice as their target audience, as well as at-home bartenders and chefs looking for a unique spicy twist to a cocktail or a dish. As far as any usage, it says, you can enjoy it on its own, or mixology, it makes a Crabbie's Moscow Mule. I know some people like the Moscow Mules that are out there. And it's a palate cleanser. It goes well with Asian pairings. And I thought, so if you wanted to make the Crabbie's Moscow Mule, it's 4 ounces of the Crabbie's ginger beer, 1.5 ounce of vodka, 1/6 ounce of lime juice. Combine all ingredients, stir gently, garnish with a lime slice. So they actually have that listed on here as well. Simple serve. Crabbie's original was best served cold and poured over ice with a slice of lime. So there we go. That's kind of the letter they sent me with the information, or they actually sent that on the email. Let's go ahead and get the box open and see what is actually in here that was sent in regard to the Crabbie stuff. I'm gonna get it this way here. I think this is the top part. And I'm gonna say it's a little quiet right now. Get a little background music there rolling. All right. I can't believe it got here as fast as it actually did. Not messing around. Super tape job. Lots and lots of paper. Okay, let's see here. 1 and 2. Make sure there's nothing else. There's a letter there as well. All right, I think I got everything out of the box here. Gonna drop that to the side. See what this letter is. It says, we hope you enjoyed this sample of Crabbie's ginger beer. I look forward to hearing back from you. And that is from Laura. So they sent 2 different samples to actually try here. Let's see if they're both the same thing or if there's anything different about them. Good old bubble wrap. Got to wrap it up. Alright, so here is the Crabbie's Original. ABV 4.8%, malt beverage with natural flavors and caramel color added. Imported. So there you can see it right there. If you're not familiar with Crabbie's, this is what it actually looks like. On the back side, pretty much the same stuff I actually told you already. Crabbie's Original Alcoholic Ginger is made to a unique recipe, exotic spices combined with fresh ginger, snipped down from the Far East, descend for up to 6 weeks to produce its deep, delicious, spicy flavor. It also tells you it contains sulfites. Never seen that on a label before. And looking on here, does not, hey, what's up, coach? Does not have a date on this bottle that I see, but it is what it is. I do like the engraving on the bottle itself. It has like a little elephant engraved there too. Nice touch on the presentation on the Crabbie's. Let's see the second bottle, what they may have sent as well. And if it's the same one or something different. This one here is Original Alcoholic Beer, 4.8. So this one is the same one, no difference at all. So essentially, they sent me the 2 Crabbie's to try as they are relaunching the line of the ginger beers. So it'll be interesting to see how these ones actually taste. Like I said, I've had it before, but it's been a long time ago. So get those down there, and those you can look for upcoming with some reviews. Now, away from that, put this to the side. It's time to crack open the beer because it is Saturday night and I want to kick back and relax a little bit. And tonight I'm actually going to crack open one that is actually from Heavy Seas that I pulled from the cellar. This is the Greater Pumpkin. And because I haven't had a lot of pumpkin beers this year, I'm not burnt out on pumpkin, so now I'm going to enjoy this one. Now this is actually the 2016 edition. It is an Imperial Pumpkin, Imperial Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices aged in bourbon barrels. This one comes in at 10% ABV, so it should have held up pretty well. And nothing else really too much on the back. It makes mention of a coppery ale with forward notes of vanilla, oak, and flavors of autumnal spice. The ale is brewed with actual pumpkin and imported English malts. Pairs well with turkey legs, sweet potatoes, and the evening looking at the stars. So, if you're looking for a beer for Halloween, why do I keep saying Halloween? A beer for Thanksgiving, the Greater Pumpkin seems to be a nice one. You might be able to actually pair up with your turkey legs. What's happening, Michelle? Cheers. Let's go and get this baby open. I don't know why I'm stuck on Halloween for some reason and not saying Thanksgiving. Oh, had a little bit of an explosion there. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. Give me 1 second and I will be right back because I got a little bit of a mess here that I need to take care of. If I can get the damn keyboard to work right. Excuse me for a little technical difficulty. On a live broadcast sometimes when things get kind of whacked out that way. I can't be muted still. You can't hear me? You should be able to hear me now. Everything on my end is showing a go. Oh, okay. Just making sure. I was going to say, I think my chat is delayed a little bit. So anyway, yeah. So had a big blow up there with the beer, and one of those things that does happen. I've seen it on other videos. Hasn't really happened to me, but I guess it was my turn. So if you missed any of that, you can go back and check that out. But had to get it all wiped down here and cleaned up. And luckily, it did not go onto the laptop because that would have really sucked. But anyway. The beer I'm drinking right now is from Heavy Seas, and it is their Greater Pumpkin, 10% ABV, Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Hold it back here, the camera should zoom in a little bit more. And as I was mentioning before the explosion, as you head into Thanksgiving this week, the pairings they actually talk about on this beer makes it a nice one to have for Thanksgiving, as it matches up well, as they say, with turkey and sweet potatoes. But a decent smelling beer. Now I'm getting a lot of the pumpkin spice and coming from the glass as I smell it. Of course, now it's on my office floor, so I'm going to be smelling it for a little bit of time until I get that all washed out. Get a nice feel of a cinnamon type feel, a nutmeg type feel. Nice sweetness to the beer. I mean, you do get a pretty good pumpkin aroma. Yeah, happy almost Thanksgiving, right? Got a few days still. But you do get a feel, it mentioned about that vanilla. Do you get a feel of the vanilla in the flavor? You get a little bit of that on the nose as well. Very smooth on the back end. You do get a feel of the bourbon barrel aging that took place on this beer, as you have that also in play, but it's not overly boozy, which is nice. Heavy Seas, of course, does some fantastic beers. I know if you've seen Backwoods Billy on here, he always talks about Heavy Seas as well. But definitely a nice one to check out from out of the Maryland area. Hey, what's happening, Beer Hound? Cheers. Welcome, my friend, out in the OC. It's got a nice subtleness to the beer as well. A little bit of a syrupy feel there in the texture. Yeah, Beer Hound, you missed my my beer explosion that happened. If you go back about a minute or so into the video, you'll probably see where the beer exploded on me. I had to jump offline to clean it up real quick. But I like the aftertaste that's left behind this beer. It's a nice quality pumpkin beer. Some of these pumpkin beers, you get them, they're a little bit too artificial. I'm not feeling that one here. This one, oh, thank you. Yeah, so somebody, what's it say? Somebody get this beer a guy, right? So one of the shirts I ended up picking up somewhere I was at. It's got a little bit of a nice warmth to it as well, but not overly warm. Really laces the mouth nicely. Good mouthfeel on it. Body-wise, nice medium body, not overly heavy by any means. It just sits on the tongue nicely as well, too. It's a nice job they did putting this one together. Would definitely say check it out if you do like pumpkin ales. Again, let me slide it this way so it's in the camera. Well, it's kind of a little short for the camera, but it is the Greater Pumpkin from Heavy Seas. And for Beer Hound, I did an unboxing earlier. So Crabbie's ginger beer, they're relaunching their line, so they sent me a couple beers to actually check out. To do some reviews on and give some feedback on. So I'm going to be doing those at some point here. So that was nice of them. Beer Hound's enjoying a St. Archer Tropical IPA. It's so good. Like a fresh green wet hop beer. I would go back and check out that nuclear explosion. Should be Clarentine LL. Yeah, it was a nice one. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Little bit of a review there while I'm drinking. I always try to talk about some of the beers. What's up, King? The festive beer. Nice, yeah. And I was making mention that I've never really had a beer explode like that on camera. So I figured, I guess it was my time. It was my turn. Because I've seen it happen to other people when they're doing it. But, you know, it was live, and when you do stuff live, things like that may happen, which is all good. It's just kind of sucks. I lost a little bit of the beer, but I got a 22-ounce bottle, so I got enough. So not too bad that I'm upset by any means. King Boo, what are you up to tonight, my friend? Are you drinking anything, or are you over there gaming, or what's going on? Make sure you guys check out King Boo's channel as well. And check out Michelle Sparkle Supreme Queen, and of course Beer Hound Beer Review too. You jinx yourself. Well, I said it afterward. I mean, it already happened when I talked about it, but I guess in the past I may have said where I've never had that happen to other people before too. So, but yeah, that was a quite an experience. I should probably go back and make that into a separate video by itself with the beer exploding. What's up, Backwoods? Just talking about you. Cheers. Actually, I just did a unboxing. Billy Crabbie's has sent me some beer to actually check out. They're bringing back the ginger beer line, so they sent me a couple bottles. But I'm actually kicking it with a beer from your part of town, from Heavy Seas, the Greater Pumpkin. I pulled this from the cellar, 10% ABV Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Decided to kick back and relax with this for a little bit. And it's one I told the people here, they make mention how it pairs well with turkey and sweet potatoes, so it could be a great Thanksgiving beer. And I know you got the Greater Pumpkin where you're at because you're right there with Heavy Seas, so if you're looking for another beer to maybe have, that could definitely be one as well. And then Michelle says, cheers to Backwoods Billy. And was the beer shook or possibly contaminated? No, it wasn't really shook or anything. I mean, I grabbed it from the cellar. It was always stored upright, and so it might have been, I took it from the cellar and I brought it up here and I let it sit for a little bit before I opened it because I was doing some other things. So it may have gotten a little bit warmer that caused it to maybe go that way. The beer itself tastes fine. So if I incidentally shook it, because I do have to go up a couple, I got to go to the basement to the main floor, then up here to the floor I'm at in my office. So I go up a couple floors. So maybe it shook in the bottle while I was carrying it, but I get stuff from the basement all the time and it doesn't tend to happen. Also, Heavy Seas, great brewery. Yes, Thanksgiving. Yeah, so a nice one here. I was going through seeing what beer I wanted to drink after I did the unboxing. I said, oh, I got a Heavy Seas from 2016. Let's go ahead and check it out, see how that one aged in the cellar. And outside of the beer explosion, it's actually tasting fine. They always do such a good job with their beers, though, so. And I know Billy backs me up on that. Anybody gets a chance to check out Heavy Seas, check it out. Wow, it really looks gorgeous, though. Yeah, it's got a great copper color on it. Didn't hold much of a head, but at 10% wasn't expecting to hold a lot, but you can see some of the legs and everything on the beer as well, too. So, yeah, it's a nice one. And where Billy's at, there's also DJ Beer Reviews. DJ, he's in Maryland too. I'm sure he's had this numerous times. And it's got just a good smoothness on it. Goes down, you can really feel it going down the throat nicely. You can even have this like an after dinner beer after Thanksgiving. You know, after you're already stuffed and you just want to sit on the couch and not move. This would be a nice one to just have right there at arm's length. You could just kind of drink some of this and then flow and coast into the evening. I am not hating on that one at all. For Thanksgiving, IPA, red ale, brown ale, porters, stout porters, and stout slated for dessert. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff can be done for sure. How it combines up with the palate. I always like a brown ale. I like a saison. A saison is good for Thanksgiving as well. We're going to actually go out for Thanksgiving dinner, and we're going to a place we went last year, which is a steakhouse. Where they do like a Thanksgiving meal and stuff. And last year, I ordered a stout, and they brought it to me, and I was like, well, this isn't a stout. They had it listed as a stout on their menu. He goes to the manager, and as the manager tells him it was a stout. I'm like, no, it's not a stout. It's an American wild ale. It doesn't even look like a stout. And so neither him or the manager knew it wasn't a stout. They're like, well, the guy that sold it to us told us it was a stout. That guy was wrong. Which is like, how are you going to be a beer rep and not know your beers? I mean, that's just piss poor to not know what beers you're actually selling and telling people the wrong stuff. Which the beer was good, so I drank it. But if somebody did want a stout, they would be disappointed because it wasn't a stout. Hey, what's up, Ramen Noodles? Cheers, my friend. Welcome. Thanks for subbing and stuff. I actually subbed back to your stuff too. Like the guitar play you were doing. So awesome stuff there. And if you guys haven't checked out Ramen Noodles, check him out as well. He does some different things there on his channel. And Michelle said, I don't have to work Thanksgiving. I'm blessed for that. Yeah. You feel like nobody should have to work on Thanksgiving. I mean, there's some restaurants that'll work because, it's a time where some people don't want to cook. We've kind of gotten to that in society. They kind of depend on so many places being open. Like I said, we're going out for something like that and everything. But if restaurants were to not open, I'd be fine with that too. Then it would just make people have to eat at home and do stuff, and everybody could spend time with their families. So, wines for Thanksgiving: white Riesling, Linox Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Noir, Shiraz. Yeah, great with dinner. Sweeter wines like ports. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, brother. It's all good, Ramen. You're welcome. Shiraz is one of my more favorable wine styles I actually do like, and I know I was asked if I'm going to do some wine reviews on the channel. I'm trying to figure out how to work wine reviews into the channel because the channel is more focused like kind of on the beer part, but doing some wine stuff would be kind of fun as well. Stores at the mall or thing, yeah. So they're open Thanksgiving night now because people are going out there buying stuff at the stores instead of getting up at 3 in the morning. I guess on Fridays to go out. Had a few last night and decided not to tonight, but I gave in. I'm having a couple of brews this holiday break. Why not? Drinking some Bumbleberry now while watching Bumbleberry Fatheads. Good beer. Popular beer. That's one of the more popular beers from Fatheads, I think, that they actually put out. I've actually got one of the ones down there in the cooler I'm going to do at some point. It's the Sorcerer or something. Let me see. From Fatheads. Let me pull it up here. Got so much good beer around the area here where we're at. It's amazing. Yeah, so I've got Fathead Sorcerer downstairs, which is their Belgian strong dark ale. I need to drink that. I really want to drink it. I just haven't. So many other beers I got to actually get in front of that one right now. Gotta watch how you manage your beer stocks. So you get all the ones out that need to get out. Because of Black Friday coming up. Yeah, so Black Friday is this coming Friday, and people will be out there going crazy, I'm sure. Some people go as a family type event. Some people go because that's the best day for them to get deals. Some people need the deals because they might not be having the money they're going to want to have for Christmas, and that's their best day to spend what they do have. But I've never ever went to a Black Friday sale or anything. Just not me. It's just, and now if you got the computer, you can just go on Amazon or whatever and get stuff anyway on Monday. Well, actually, now they got stuff ahead of Black Friday, so some places are online already doing stuff. As a matter of fact, in Ramen Noodles, there you go. Yeah. So, and then Ramen says hi back to Michelle as well. So yeah. So Ramen had just recently joined the channel, which I appreciate. A recent beer venturer. I finally found the hat I wanted for the website. So I'm going to have 2 different hats up on the website right now, but I wanted to get like a trucker hat. So I found a trucker cap from one of the companies that I now put on the website. So I'm going to be getting that here in the next week or so that I'll share. And I don't know why, but I just wanted to get like a trucker's cap for the beer website. I think I got a pretty cool one there too. 10 to 4 Black Friday. Wow. So is it pretty crazy where you're working at, Michelle? Like people just like nuts and stuff? knocking people down, stepping over people. You know what? Coming in at 10 a.m. actually may not be as bad because though most people go like at 6 in the morning to start shopping in a lot of places. Unless your store opens at 10, I guess it could be bad. I know next week I'm looking forward to The Irishman will be on Netflix next weekend. The Scorsese movie, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. I will be watching that at some point. What was that merch you showed yesterday? Yesterday, that was the new sweatshirt or hoodie sweatshirt that I just got made. I also put that up on the BeerVentures store as well. So I got that sweatshirt. I actually got another sweatshirt that's a thinner edition that's in black. And then I've got a few t-shirts like the one that Trish had got. Keep sipping. And there's a couple hats I have out there now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing. The t-shirts are short sleeve and there's long sleeve for those. So thankfully, I only work Monday through Thursday. I have every Friday, Sunday off. Hoping to get some good deals for my Christmas. Nice. So are you doing like a 4-day, 40-hour week then? Because that's something that some companies are trying to push for now. That they're kind of thinking they're getting more production when they have people working a 4-hour week rather than a 5-hour week. Which I would definitely do a 4-hour week if I could. What are my top 3 go-to beers? You know, I don't really have a go-to beer just because I'm always trying different beers. There's not much that I would say I come back to just because I always am picking up new stuff. But out of beers that I really enjoy, I guess you could say periodically that I'll drink over and over again or come at some point. The Golden Draught 9000, that was one of my top beers there. It's really a tough question trying to narrow down what is what. Anytime I get the Ballast Point Victory SC, it's a good day. I like that one as a top one. Probably the Goose Island Bourbon County is one that's up there as well for me. And I'm thinking about just some of the stuff and how I rated things and looked at things. Those are going to come some of my beers I tend to favor. We have one locally here that's done by Mad Tree Brewing. It's called Galaxy High. That's a favorite of mine as well. But I don't get locked into any certain like beer for loyalty type thing. I'll get like some beers at times. Like I'll probably pick up a 6-pack of Celebration Ale at some point from Sierra Nevada just because it's a good beer. But I wouldn't say it's one of my top ones out there. Yeah, that's what I work. It's super nice setup. Yeah, I bet it is having a 4-hour week like that. It might seem long at some points, but to have 3 days off for the weekend, nice. Kroger Fries, been there almost a year now. Oh, so I know you're a part of Kroger. You know Kroger, well, you do know Kroger they're based out of where I'm at in Cincinnati, so their headquarters is here. And courtesy clerk, do bagging and go get carts outside. Yeah, so where I'm at here, Cincinnati headquarters is Kroger. They're like one of the big companies that we have out of downtown Cincinnati, or so to speak. But I didn't realize they were part of Fries. I've seen Fries around before, so I didn't know Fries was part of them now too. The Krogers that we have around the area in Ohio, because of the way their laws are set up, they've started adding taps inside Krogers. So you can actually go there and shop and actually drink a beer while you're shopping or just hang out and drink beer, which is there pretty cool. Yeah, Fred Meyer's. Yeah, no Fred Meyer's. We see all their jewelry spots and the stuff that we have here. Genesee 30-pack of $12.98. Yeah, so Genesee's always got like a a price conscious deal for the conscious shopper looking to save a little bucks, you can always pick up Genesee. It's pretty good deals. Yeah, I buy different beer almost every time I buy, but one of my go-tos is Elvis Juice by BrewDog. I was actually searching your channel to see if you had any BrewDog. I do have a BrewDog review on the channel. Elvis Juice I've actually had, but I've had it out, so I haven't done a review on it yet. Let me take a look here. See what BrewDog I actually have. I don't have it marked on here. I know I've had BrewDog. Maybe I haven't done a review on it then. I thought I did. I know I did an on-site at one of the gastropubs, and I thought one of them was drinking a BrewDog beer. Double check. I may not have it in the title there. Yeah, I don't see it on here. Although we did just open up BrewDog here in Cincinnati last week. So Cincinnati has, well, the second biggest BrewDog location here, but it's the second in Ohio, and they're only in Ohio. Columbus has a bigger spot, but we just opened one in Cincinnati. So we get BrewDog pretty easily now in the state. Local craft first. Yep, agree with that, definitely. And since you're in Ohio, it says myself, yeah. So, as you know, I'm not sure where you're actually at, Ramen, but down here we have so many different breweries that BrewDog is such more of a distant thought than anything. Like, I remember when I used to watch the BrewDog show on TV that they had, and I always wanted to try their beers, but then we had such an explosion of local breweries. I pretty much drank a lot of their stuff more than what the BrewDog. Yeah, Michelle's out in Arizona. Way too much religious beliefs and input. Alcohol is considered the devil's juice. I say, okay, y'all. Me, Satan Jr., pour me a beer. Yeah, we got a few breweries that are in old churches now that have done really well. But there was a story that I was just looking at. I only looked at it briefly. One of the churches one of the breweries were having something with some type of cult thing. I don't know what it was all about, but apparently people that were Christian were protesting outside of it or something with rosary beads. I don't know, religion is a funny thing at times. Central Ohio, Mount Vernon specifically, and when it was Craig, by the way, Ramen is just my channel name. Yeah, well, yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think your parents probably named you Ramen, but you never know nowadays. Well, it's nice to officially meet you there as Craig. Craig's actually my middle name, so that should be a little easier for me to remember. What's up, Alan? Cheers, buddy. And Michelle said, have a good night. I'm going to chill. All right, Michelle, you take it easy. I know you're just getting over being a little sick, so get some relax in. We are the country in a town near the spot near. I'm sorry. We are the country in a town near us that spent over 2 years with Doug Sting. 1/8 of grain buys to build quantities in Baltimore, Annapolis. They'd have been laughed off the force. I need to blow my print up here or something. It's so small, I gotta bend down to actually see the stuff. I don't know what's going on with that. That's a lot better. You said mess lab. Trust me, if one sprung up, they would pounce on it. Yeah. Well, meth, I mean, they're all over the country, I guess. Wherever it happens, they are on them pretty quickly. But Alan, I miss my upset pick today. I thought we had it. We had a good shot there, and couldn't get it in. I think we got screwed when we had a touchdown and they called the guy down and then we couldn't get in. We had to set up for a field goal. Our kicker missed a field goal. We ended up losing by 7, but I thought we had a good shot of knocking them off. So I'm happy now for the future next year, though, because the quarterback we got, he's going to be redshirted. We got 2 years with him, most likely. I'm not going to say he's going to put up Will Grier numbers, but he's going to be pretty solid. With folks naming the kids JKMN and saying it pronounced Noel, you never know what name. Yeah, you really don't. I had some person the other day that spelled Karen in some way I would have never figured out it was Karen was the name. It was just a weird type thing. Not by much, buddy. I was out Christmas shopping with the family, but saw the highlights and score. Yeah, I mean, we actually had the lead at a point, and they got a lead later in the game. But we really controlled like the second half. It's just we missed some plays, and like I said, we had a touchdown. I thought that Sam James got tackled. They went to the replay. They weren't sure if his knee was down. It was that close, and they called him down, and we couldn't punch it in from the half-yard line, which sucked. And then, our kicker missed a key field goal, but, it's just something we got to make those opportunities. No turnovers by either team, and it was just a good game. It was just, I wish we would have pulled it out. So now we are not going bowling, even if we win next week, but it is what it is. I can't believe right now Oregon is actually in a kind of a tough one against Arizona State, 7-7, and Arizona State's now in the red zone here in the second quarter with like just under 5 minutes. Have I tried any of the hemp-infused beers, such as New Belgium's Hemper or Sweetwater's? Yeah, so on the channel, actually the Hemperor is one of the videos that's one of the more popular ones. I did the Hemperor when it first came out, so I do have that video on there, which I do like that one. It's kind of funny with the Hemperor. When the Hemperor first came out, everybody was trying to sell it for like $15. You can get in that. Now it's like $9.99, so they really overpriced that when it came into the marketplace. And then the Sweetwater, I actually prefer the Sweetwater to the Hemperor. The Sweetwater one, the 420, is actually a really good one as well. So, plus with the Sweetwater, you're not burping the next day smelling like you were smoking weed the night before like you are with the Hemperor. That one does linger with you for a little bit of time. I'm actually surprised we're not seeing more of some of the hemp beers coming out from some of the breweries. It's been kind of a little bit more limited. It's kind of like I expected them to maybe do some more stuff with that, like they did with the Brewed IPA, kind of going crazy to that style. But it's kind of an acquired taste as well. Not everybody's going to be into the hemp beers, so you don't want to put stuff out there that people aren't going to buy. So there's a business line you have to walk, I'm sure. Sweeter mango is your jam. Yeah, the mango's good too. I like the base more than the mango, but the mango is a decent one as well. I've actually done that one too with the mango kush. Sweetwater's, they've picked up their game a little bit. They were more of a hit and miss for me, but more recently they put together some more solid beers that are actually producing. If you ever get a chance, if you haven't had it, I would definitely say check out the Hop Hash that they do. That's like a seasonal from them, and that's a pretty solid beer too. As a cannabis enthusiast, I can get down with my hempy brews. Yeah. Yeah, hemp is herbal and earthy, so not far off of Nobel English hops. Yeah. Yeah, the hemp feel is pretty decent on the beers. I definitely do not object. Is anybody else drinking anything tonight? Throwing down on anything? I'll be listening while I Amazon shop. Hey, what's up, Lumpy? I didn't even see you there. What's going on? Yeah. So you're shopping. You're doing your. Is it Christmas shopping or just shopping in general? I was listening earlier doing some stuff when I was typing on the computer, so definitely know that. You got to multitask nowadays. Definitely saves a lot of time. And hopefully you guys are all checking out each other's channels here in the chat as well. The Eclectic Beers, Ramen, Backwoods Billy. Great people in here right now. Lumpy Dog. I was going to tell you, Alan, I was going to send you a message earlier. I thought, here's a great idea. So we're doing your college sports show on Tuesday nights. The Tuesday after this Tuesday will be the last of the regular season. But one thing that we could do after that is like a bowl pick show. So we could do a show if you think maybe picking the bowl winners. I think that would be kind of cool thing to do once the bowls are announced. Sipping on 10W 40 Imperial with Carolina. Ooh, nice. Is that the Mexican one? Because I do have that one as well, but I haven't drank it yet. And I think that's the one that has the Reapers in it. Oh, Billy had a Flanders style sour earlier. I do like the Flanders ales. Anytime I get a sour from like overseas or that style, I'm just pretty much so pleased with it. Hey, what's happening, Jeremy? Blake is over watching the game. We just dropped in to say cheers, my friend. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, Arkansas hanging in there. Last I looked at that one, I'm watching Oregon right now. They're actually down to Arizona State. The 10W40 series is awesome from Highline Brewing. I'm digging what they're doing there. Of course, they're in Asheville, North Carolina, which is a great spot for breweries. But they're definitely got a great game going. Fish room shopping. Yes, I'm Aquarius nerd. Hello. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Back in college was the last time I actually had a fish tank. So I will say sometimes having fish around, it's nice, it's peaceful and serene. Just sitting there, maybe with the lights off, kind of looking at the fish tank and just watching the fish swim. Just chill and relax. Ramen says, highly recommend 10W40. Alan said, it's alright. Standard stout flavor with a bit of spice on the back end to give some heat, but it's nothing to write home about. Well, maybe you should drop in a piece of that chocolate candy bar to kick it up a notch. Which, if you did not see Alan and the chocolate candy bar, make sure you go to the Eclectic Beard to check out his channel when he ate the world's hottest chocolate. Had the Palo Santo one, Ramen said. And Lumpy says, wow, that's old school. Not a Reaper. Yeah, the Reaper is the Mexican 10W40 variety variant, I believe. See, Rajay, that's why we're friends. Is that because of the college show idea? Yeah, Highline makes a lot of good beers. Yeah, High Wire. And Alan said, cheers to Jeremy. Yeah. Which, speaking of High, if you didn't get it last year, because I know some people were looking to find them, right now they do have the Miller High Life champagne bottles back out again. So I had done a video with it last year as well, but it was kind of a thing when they brought them back for the anniversary and decided to bring them back this year too. So if you want a little nostalgia, go out there and get yourself a High Life in the champagne bottle. Here they're like 2 for like $6, I believe. My wife has our Kia Optima packed to the guild. So tomorrow, guess what I'll be doing? LL, she's shopping like we had the Lincoln Navigator. Yeah. Yeah, she's getting a honeydew list all set up for you, Billy. She'll be putting you to work. This beer is so smooth. Yeah, the Bowl Pick'em show. We could do one where we go live and pick what bowls we think teams will be placed in, and then do one next week guessing the winners. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Yeah, we do, like, once the bowl list comes out, we can do a bowl list. We can actually track it. If you wanted to take the show to the next level, we could even set up a site like on Yahoo where we can put the picks out there and people can actually see the picks that we actually made as well, and we can refer back to that too. If you want to do something like that, I mean, let me know if you do, and I can help you get that set up. But I'm just thinking of ideas where we can have some fun with it. Miller Lite has special holiday Christmas label collection can. Yeah, I actually saw that earlier today too. Um, and is that a pumpkin beer I am drinking? Yes. So the beer I am drinking here now is Heavy Seas, the Greater Pumpkin, and out of Maryland, a nice brew to actually enjoy that I'll put into my Untapped here in a little bit. And if any of you guys are on Untapped, feel free to send me a friend request as well. It's still Rajay BeerVentures. Always like to see what everybody else is drinking out there too. I do enjoy the Untapped app. I think it gives a lot of good things you can do with it. It's probably the more versatile of any of the beer apps in my opinion. And for those of you that might have came here later, I started out when I put in the title, the unboxing. So Crabbie's has sent me a couple beers to try out. They're both the same. It's the Crabbie's ginger beer. They're actually relaunching their line. So they asked if I would like to enjoy a couple samples and do a review on them or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, send them along. So they sent them to me. Haven't had the best of luck with pumpkin beers. Last one I said I had was Rosemary's Baby. Kind of hard to drink. Well, there's some, and I mentioned it kind of earlier, I think there's some that are too artificial in the taste, and you have to kind of power through them if you're going to finish them. This one is actually really good. It's pretty smooth. Of the pumpkin beers I actually enjoy, you have Southern Tier and the Warlock and the Pumpkin. You have Dogfish Head Pumpkin Ale and Avery. Now, Avery, if you go to Avery and get the pumpkin beer, Avery has a thing where they like making big ABV beers. So if you get like their pumpkin and it's KY, it's pump KYN, that's like 17.6% ABV. That one is boozy, but it is good. It's kind of one you just drink over a little period of time. And then those are kind of some of my favorites in that pumpkin type area. In my opinion, there aren't really a lot of good pumpkin beers. Well, I mean, it all depends. It could be the palate, your palate as well too, Alan. And so it's kind of like there's some that are good and there's some that, you know, like any style that aren't going to be as good, I'll say. And whether they're actually using natural flavors, artificial, or how that all gets into it, that's going to definitely have an effect or toll there. I've had some that just didn't taste well because you can just tell how fake and artificial they were. Billy says, Heavy Seas was there when we lived in Annapolis. Went to the brewery a lot. $5 tour, got you a free pint glass. Logo on it. 6 tokens for free beers. Better than not taking the tour. Huh. So you actually got a good deal by taking the tour from Heavy Seas. Yeah, if I would have been able to make that trip, like I told you earlier, Billy, that was definitely on the spot to catch up with you and then go to Heavy Seas and also to go to Guinness if I'd have been able to make it to Maryland. The one thing I also find with some pumpkin beers, when they're like this one has a slight bit of a syrupy feel, but when they're really bad, that syrupy feel kind of takes over as well. So in the way that kind of the beer is made, that probably plays into it too. I feel with most pumpkin beers, I don't even get notes of pumpkin, just lots of spices. Yeah, that can be an issue as well. I mean, you should get the pumpkin, but I get like spices on here too. Like I mentioned earlier, like nutmeg, a little bit of kind of a cinnamon. I do get the vanilla coming through, but I get the pumpkin also. But there's some where it's overly done with, like, say, cinnamon allspice will come through more than with the pumpkin may. Again, it's just you pick a style. There's going to be good, there's going to be bad, in my opinion. So you have to basically, you know, follow your palate. That's what matters. You should add Dogfish Head, also Revelation Craft Beer, Evolution Brewing. Oh, I said Dogfish Head earlier for the pumpkin beer because their pumpkin now is pretty good, but I haven't had Revelation or the Evolution. Tall Tales Brewery, Backshore Brewing. Yeah, see, those we don't really get here. Those are probably, I guess, in your area or on the East Coast there. With so many breweries out there, it's hard to keep track of everything. I mean, I don't know, that's I checked like 77, 7,800 or something, I believe. So it's definitely rising. Mm. All right, sorry, I missed that then. No, the hit when I come down. Gotcha. I thought you were saying they had the pumpkin beers there too. Well, if I get some free time when I go to Jersey in August next year, I'm not sure how many days I'm going to be up there, but if I can get away a couple days, maybe go down to Maryland or something too, because from where I'm at in Jersey, it's South Jersey. It's only like, I think we went to Baltimore for maybe 2 to 3 hours, if that. It wasn't very long at all. That's probably the one thing I missed about not being on the East Coast where we were, because we were like half hour from like Philly, like hour from New York, hour from, getting down towards DC or whatever. I mean, Atlantic City was an hour. So we had a lot of different areas we could actually go to. I'll just be happy to get back next year and get a Wawa shorty and a Sicilian pizza. You can't get Sicilian pizzas like you can get up there. And to go to a diner again. If you ever go to New Jersey, you have to go to one of the diners. Ever have Homestead Brewing? Local to Ohio, not far from where I'm at. No, I haven't had Homestead. If you're in Central Ohio, I don't know, if you're probably getting Columbus Brewing where you're at. If you like IPAs, I will say though, I went to Columbus a few months ago and had that Bodie from Columbus Brewing. That was actually really good. I can't remember, it was an IPA. I think it was a double IPA that I actually had there. Patrick at Revelation Craft Beer has won a ton of World Cup medals, GABF medals, and he is small. Brews everything himself. Nice. Yeah, we've got a few Great American winners and stuff with some of the local breweries we have here. Whenever they go, they always put out like who won what and everything. So it's been well represented from Cincinnati. Wawa, the Gobble Wobble sub Thanksgiving dinner. So yeah, that's the one you told me about before, and it won't be up there, I'm sure, in August. I don't know if you can get it year round or not, but that one did sound like it would fill you up pretty easily. Hey, what's happening, Elbow? Cheers, my friend. Enjoying the Elysian Space Dust. Haven't had that one in a while. That's actually a good IPA. Elysian catches flack from some of the people in the craft beer community because essentially they're under AB and Bev, but that's actually a pretty good IPA. And another one that's a good pumpkin beer, as we were talking about pumpkin beers, is the Elysian Night Owl. I forgot about that one. The Night Owl is a good pumpkin beer if you're looking for pumpkin beers to try. So what do you say? What's going on down in Florida? Any good happening taking place? I was going to say, we haven't seen you. We didn't do the Beer Flow show this past week, but I think the one we did before, we were like, we haven't seen Elbow in a while. Drink some of my H2O as well, so I stay hydrated. The water boy will be proud. It's a mighty fine H2O. Anybody got any big plans for Sunday? I know Billy's got the honeydew list from the wife already. I was surprised, Ted, to hear about New Belgium. Heard it first from you. Yeah, thanks. It was a surprise being it was New Belgium. Because of their size, especially in Colorado, one being the largest craft brewery in Colorado, but then overall in the craft beer world, how big they were. But it goes to show that any brewery can be bought pretty much at any time if the number is right. And there seems to be some mixed feelings about it now, like even with some of the employees that really didn't want to have it sold, but majority wins in that situation. It's interesting. It'll be funny to see how things shape out. I mean, their beers are solid, so I think people will still drink them. I think there are some people that will not. Just like there's some people that don't drink Elysian as much now, or they don't drink Breckenridge or some of these other ones. Depends how far someone wants to go in their belief about just drinking a craft beer or not. But New Belgium just launched another one of their Voodoo Series beers this past week that I saw, and I want to check that one out too. So, like I said, I'm not a person that's to a snob type level. I like enjoying beer if it's good beer. While I go local and independent beforehand, I still drink some of the bigger beers. I'll still drink like Lagunitas. I'll still drink Goose Island. I'll still drink some of these other ones that are out there. But, you know, it'll be interesting to see how that all goes. Watching the Lions lose again. Oh, are the Lions on right now? Is it an NFL game? Oh, tomorrow. Never mind. I forgot I asked about tomorrow. Yeah. You and Eric, a Lions fan, will both be tuned in for that. I'm going to chill with the wife and kiddos and then start recording videos for the new week. All right, brother. Well, thanks for swinging by. Yeah, I'm going to probably jump over to the Twitch gaming channel in a bit, get some Modern Warfare in and do some things there. But kind of wanted to just share some stuff tonight as well. Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, I think with New Belgium, I know they're going to be okay. It was a $190 million deal they got. I mean, they've got great opportunity in front of them. They're going to get more distribution, not just here, but overseas as well. They already have other stuff under them they don't mess with anyway. It's kind of an asset play. So I think they'll be left alone to do a lot of that stuff. Drink the Natty Light Seltzers all day. $12.99 12-pack versus $59 4-pack. Hard to beat the value. Oh, Alan, we're going to talk about seltzers again when we catch up. I'm going to take Billy's Genesee over your seltzer deal. Honestly, though, we went to Party Source when Joe, Eric, and Todd were in. And we went inside. We actually tried seltzers that they have from the local breweries. And they were actually pretty good. I tried to shoot video, but the video got lost on the way it was being transmitted, so there was nothing there to get shared. But surprisingly, I did find a couple seltzers I could drink that were actually not bad at all. And also, I've also heard about, taking a seltzer and then using that as a mixer, which has been great too for an extra kick in a mixed drink. Lumpy, they had the Founders Underground Mountain grocery store for $19, not bad. See, I don't do Founders though. All the Founders stuff, everything. If you watch my channel and saw the Founders things, you would know why I don't do Founders. But yeah, Founders isn't something that I actually drink. Juggalo says, "What up, Rod J? Hope you're doing well tonight." Yes, I am, my friend, and great chatting with you last night as well. It was great conversation and great convo for sure, and hopefully the wife wasn't too mad over that little Ciroc as well. And then Alan said, "Cheers to Juggalo." And he said, "Cheers back to Alan." So, what up, brother? Yeah, I just decided to kick it for a little bit here. Yeah, Founders has been ruined for me. So, yeah, so it's just, there's a lot of stuff out there, and, we hashed this over, I don't even know, like 2 or 3 weeks, I think, from different aspects. I know in the Beer Flow show, it was coming up a few times. We kept going over it, and I had done some videos, some pieces on it, and yeah, I haven't had a Founders beer at least back to when I first found out, probably around, well, I say it was probably around, it was last year, probably around August, so when I found out all the stuff that was taking place there. She got over it, LOL, that's fun. That's awesome. Elvis, are you doing this show Thursday night, which is Thanksgiving? Either way, happy Thanksgiving. And thank you, you too as well. We're going to try to do it Thursday night. I know Eric said he was in to do it Thursday night. I'm not sure what Todd's schedule is yet, if him and Shannon with the family stuff, if they're going to be available or not, or we'll find out if they can make it. Who knows, if Joe's off work, maybe Joe can make it, depending on what his family stuff is going on. But for us, we're going out to dinner. We're going out early to dinner, like around 5 something. Probably by 9 something, we're back in the house. She's probably about conked out, and I'm going to just be probably too full to do anything else. So I'll probably rock back in this chair, and we probably will do a show as much as we can. So I heard rumbling, but as soon as the deposition came out, and that was a wrap, no more since then. Yeah, it's the deposition was kind of like the nail in the coffin, the icing on the cake, however you want to call it. But even before it got to that point, there was a lot of other information out there. And granted, I kind of linked into the person that was actually filing the lawsuit against Founders at the time, so there was stuff that I was hearing as well. But then I was also hearing about stuff from people that actually went to Founders in Grand Rapids and some of the treatment they said they had actually received up there. Then I was also linked into an attorney out of New York who was a craft beer attorney who was updating everything about what was taking place with the court, what everything was breaking down to, what everything that meant as well. So I was invested into it, a lot of the stuff that was taking place, and it didn't take much to really turn me from not doing Founders. And then, of course, when the director of diversity and inclusion she resigned and put out the letter about how bad it was there. It was kind of like, no, I just can't mess with them anymore. So, which I used to like a lot of the Founders beers, although I did think CBS and KBS were both overrated. They were good, but they were overrated in my opinion compared to some of the other stuff out there. You could easily find just as good beers as those at a lower value, or lower cost, higher value, I should say. But it is what it is. I mean, there's almost 8,000 breweries out there. I'm not missing it over not having one. So. And the bourbon aspect of this beer, I like how the bourbon does not overpower it either. It really complements the beer nicely. Yeah, I saw part of the Harvard-Yale game today, and they were showing, like, at halftime, I guess the field got overran by students that had a climate protest. That was interesting. And it took them like a long time to get all the students off of the field. I mean, there was just so many of them. Hard to justify giving them money after the deposition, and then with the diversity coordinator letter, that was just like, holy shit. Yeah, so you put it all together, and even in their response that they would have as the so-called owner management of the brewery, they kept like trying to shift everything like they didn't do anything wrong, and it was like, dude, really? All this stuff is coming right back on you. You know, they could have easily, this whole thing could have been addressed a year ago. They could have took the stance and had it handled a lot better off than what it actually is now. And now they're working with the watchdog group to make sure things get done as well. So I don't know. It's stupid to be anyway for everything that's happening, but it's just like you got to be just like so ingrained in your ignorance to kind of not see how you're affecting everything and how this is all playing out. Alan says, "Oh Jesus, seems they would teach those kids to be more intelligent than that." Yeah, I don't know if you saw that footage or not, Alan, but it was kind of interesting. I mean, it was interesting at the Harvard-Yale game when they all took the field, and there were just like a ton of students. So I don't even think they had enough security to get all the students off the field. They had to call in, I think, backups to get people off the field. So, but at least I was the kickers out there warming up for the second half, and the students were in the middle, like in the 50 and stuff. And it is what it is. The great thing about being American is the right to protest. So you can't do that in all the countries. But it is a double-edged sword at times. Exactly, they could have been like, we fucked up and mitigated the damage done. Their Scotch Ale Old Dirty Bastard was top notch. Yeah, I did like the Old Dirty Bastard. I thought that was a good one I liked. I used to like their Dark Penance, but they stopped making the Dark Penance, which was a great black IPA. I saw the footage and was like, these idiots hired learning my ass. Hey, that's some rich kids. Some of them out there in the Ivy League. I'm going to go rub my old lady. If this stream is still going, I'll be back. Okay. That's funny there, Craig. I'm gonna leave that where it's at right there. Yeah, there's still some bars that are kind of not bringing them back in either, just not carrying their stuff, and there's still some people not trying to partake in some things with them. So I don't know. I made mention when this all kind of happened back in the late 70s, 80s. Denny's kind of went through a thing as well, and people nowadays don't even know about the Denny's stuff they went through, and Denny's did a lot of stuff to get themselves back into the goodwill of the people as well. So over time, they can bounce back from it, I'm sure, but at this point, it's definitely too fresh that I can't see myself ever buying any beer from Founders. Yeah, Rich, more dollars than cents. Yeah, but if you're feeling like it's a cause to take, why not? You got to make a stand at some point. I always tell people there's, in a way, and some people can disagree, but in the country we're in, there's not really a bad way to protest. Any protest you do, someone's not going to like it. So it's kind of almost like, it's just, people take action, and some will like it, some won't like it, and that's just the way it is. I mean, some people don't like a lot of things about how some people protest, and again, it's the right that we have that's a protected right, which is a great right to have. When you look at some of these, look at Hong Kong. I mean, Hong Kong, they're getting all hosed down and shot at and stuff like that and everything, and, it's just crazy. Well, the beer is almost done, so I'm going to go ahead and get this wrapped up. Thanks for everybody that swung by. I'm going to, like I said, go to my Twitch channel, throw some game in there probably. I don't know. I might catch up with the guys later. I haven't done like a hangout on the channel in a while. I don't know if you're going to be around later, Alan, or not, but I'm thinking maybe do like a hangout later on in a couple hours or something, like a late night type thing. So if you're around, let me know. Just feel like maybe putting something up late hours. See if some of the other guys might want to join. That's true. First Amendment, we at least have that. Hong Kong, them poor folks getting no love from our Democratic leaders for the most part. Yeah, so they're not really. And you would think with some of the tensions between us and China, and what they're trying to do to Hong Kong, that we would step in on Hong Kong's behalf to try to help them, because that gives us a better foothold against China. But not much is being said or done. Yeah, good. Good chilling with you as well, Juggalo. Thanks for swinging by, my friend. It was a Saturday night. I'm just sitting here watching some football. I said, "Oh, let me do an unboxing video real quick and see who's all out there. Get a little chat going." And I appreciate you guys spending some time here. He said, "Oh damn, if I'm around a year on, I'll join. Trying to play hide the sausage with the wife tonight." Well, you don't want to hide the sausage. You want her to find the sausage. So it should be find the sausage. Should be takeout. Yeah, well, if you guys are having some of the colder type weather, not a bad night to definitely do that. You know what I mean? Get that body heat rolling. Richie Z, what is going on, my friends? Been a while. Cheers. Kind of caught us on the tail end. About to shut this one off here for a little bit. I actually started earlier than usual. Usually, when I was doing the live streams before, I was starting around 9:15, and I actually went around 8 something. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and power this baby down so I can go relax and get some gaming in for a little bit. And then if I'm back later tonight, I'll post something up there for the live stream. Well, as they say in a Clockwork Orange, a good game of an out. A good old game of in and out. Yeah. Cheers, Richie. Cheers, brother. Yeah, Clockwork Orange. There's a movie I haven't seen in a while. You know what I just recorded on DVR before I jump off here, because I haven't seen it in so long and I want to go back and watch it, is The Deer Hunter. I saw The Deer Hunter years and years and years ago, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to DVR it when it's back on next time so I can actually watch that again. So I might watch that tomorrow. It's supposed to be like cold and not really much to do, so maybe I'll catch that during the course of the day. No worries. Enjoy the weekend. Yeah, definitely. You too. Hopefully things are going nicely. Weekends are definitely short. We'd like to get them a little bit longer. And probably catch part of the second half too, with Arizona State actually up on Oregon right now, which didn't expect that to happen. But that all being said, I am going to go ahead, guys, and power down. Appreciate all of you for joining in and joining with me here on the stream. Hopefully you guys have a great Saturday night. And if you guys are around later and we're back up, definitely swing back by. You'll see the alert come out. Hit that notification bell. That way you're notified. And if we don't do that, hopefully you guys have a great Sunday. And chances are I'll probably be back on tomorrow doing something. Look forward to catching you guys soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better come